Hey, Matt. So on the win-win, I'm just going through course 10, the win-win negotiation, and I
Yep.
have a situation that's very applicable to that. Almost finished the course.
Okay.
Situation is this. We had a customer that was renting a piece of equipment for a long period of time. He ended up not using it nearly as much as he counted on, so he didn't make as much money as he planned on while renting our piece of equipment. And he's like, look, I'd like to keep the piece of equipment longer, but honestly, we've been losing money keeping it, so we're probably going to return it.
Hmm.
Um, my gut feeling says I need to figure out a way to negotiate the situation that we compromise, but not given discounts.
Yeah.
And, I really like that win-win course. It reminds me of a book called Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And it's real good stuff. But this current situation, I'm not sure what I should do.
Yeah, I think the first step in this is to recap. Hey, I want to make sure I understand the current situation. You've had this piece of equipment. You haven't been able to monetize it the way you have. Recap the current situation with him. And then ask him, what are some of your thoughts? And let that client give you ideas. Because what we think is when we don't lead with an idea on the negotiation, that they're going to come back and be like, give it to me for free. That rarely ever happens. And if they do say that, you can just go, how am I supposed to do that? Right? Like you're now bringing it right back to. So I would ask them for their thoughts and then work from there, because typically you'll find that they're a lot closer to a reasonable thing. Now, if you do have to give them something, if you do have to discount, be like, hey, I totally understand the situation. And this is how you're going to make it a win-win, right? We don't discount. We're locked in on the price, but I want to do something for you here. So maybe get either an additional commitment for a bigger purchase from them, or it could be as simple as, listen, if we can just have an agreement here, and this needs to stay between us because we don't discount, if you're able to give us a reference or a referral or just verbally agree to be a reference in the future, what I'm willing to do is I'm willing to cover 30% of the cost for the next 4 months on the rental for you, and then just admit to it. There's value in that for us, right? That's super valuable, especially in 2025 where everything's at in terms of advertising and the cost of advertising. To be able to have somebody like you that says, Sean was awesome, they're very helpful. If you're a general contractor, they're a great outfit. If I can come to you a few times, or even better, if you could take your phone, point it at your face, and record a video testimonial, I think there's some value in that to me. I'm willing to offset the cost of keeping the machine where it's at right now so that you can recoup that. And also along those same lines, is there anything that I can do on my end, or is there anything that my people and my network can do to help make sure that you are getting the jobs to use the machine? Even if you can't help them with that, at least throw that out there. Right now you're being collaborative. But what I don't want you to do is say, hey, if we could lower the price, will you keep the machine longer? Because no matter where you settle on that price, they're going to think, if I was just more of a jerk, I could have got a better deal.
I hear you. And as you mentioned in your training, the referral is your least favorite one, right? Because it's not likely to happen. They'll say they'll do it and it doesn't end up happening.
Yeah, but I want to make sure I'm clear. A testimonial and a referral, opposite things, right? Like, I'd rather get the testimonial. Even if you guys don't use it, it's just good to have those. Stick them up on LinkedIn. You'll be surprised at how those things will keep paying dividends later. If I just say, hey, can you give me, typically that's it's one thing for me to take a video of my face and go, Sean was great. They provided our company with great service and they're awesome. And if you need a great company for rental equipment, go with Sean. That's one thing. It's a whole nother thing if you ask me to go to one of my competitors and go, hey, my secret weapon is Sean, right? It's really weird because then that crosses into, they're like, well, I'm helping out my competitor. They don't really realize that they kind of are by saying good things about you, but it's indirect. Right? I wouldn't ask them to sell your product for you because, to your point, you typically never hear anything.
Yeah. And in your experience, I know I'm in a different industry than yours, but you're probably familiar. Construction, oil field type guys don't seem like the type of guys that want to point a camera at their face. Do you just go for it anyway?
Yeah. What's the worst that they're going to do? They're going to say no. By the way, if you get one, It's money in the bank, right? Because you just got all the credibility in the world, right? And if they're like, man, I don't want to do that. If they're like, I don't want to do that, which is why I'm willing to cover 20% of your rate for the next 3 months, keeping that piece of equipment there, because having something like that is very valuable to me. Because nobody in the oil field wants to do that. You know, be straight up and honest with them. And I think you'll get a good result. At the very least, though, you tried, right? And then they're like, Sean, man, you're trying. And it's just more of a collaborative win-win type of conversation.
Absolutely. Real good. Appreciate you.
Yeah.